please. I'd like to invite our shareholder, any of our shareholders, to please in an opening prayer.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Good morning, everybody. Can we be upstanding for opening prayer, please? In the name of the Spirit. Our Father, our God, we want to thank you for the gift of life. We thank you, Father, because it has pleased you to bring us to this year. We appreciate you because in 2020, a peculiar year, you did not allow any one of us to 2020. We appreciate your goodness in Jesus' name. We have come this morning to discuss and deliberate on the issues of our company. And let's have full cause to glorify your name. For we pray in Jesus' mighty name.
Do we have a Muslim shareholder who wants to also lead us in prayer, please?
The most beneficent, the most merciful. We thank Almighty Allah for his blessing and his mercy upon us. May for sparing our life this day. May Almighty Allah continue to give our management board of and strategy that they use to move this company to the highest level. In the mighty name of Allah, I subhanaka Allahumma wa bihamdik ashhadu an
Okay, while we're still all standing, can we just also sing the National Anthem? Strength and faith. Okay, I think we need to do a better job of that. Please. Serve our fatherland with love and strength and faith. The labors of our heroes past shall never be made. With heart and mind, one nation. Peace and unity. Thank you. May we I welcome you all to the 16th AGM of the company. I confirm compliance compliance with Companies and Allied Matters Act and the Memorandum and Article of Association of the company. We received the of subsequently endorsed by the Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, and Nigeria Stock Exchange. This is as a result of the resurgence of the COVID-19 pandemic and the restrictions currently limited to not more than 50 persons by the Presidential Steering Committee on the company's website and the social media platforms. Others joining us will therefore to our shareholders and observers who are not physically present. As a corporate sees it, necessary health and other precautionary measures are stimulated by the federal, state, and Section 301, subsection 8 of the Companies and Allied Matters Act 2020. The registered directors' attendance at board meetings of the company are available for inspection during the Before we proceed to transact the businesses on the agenda, let me introduce the and the company. As you know, I am Iruna Ejibe, a non-executive director representing Mr. Dozie, chairman of your company, who unavoidably is joining us via electronic means. Mr. Idozie was appointed as the chairman of the company with effect from to introduce my colleagues on the board. Each director is to stand up. Dr. Adebola Akindele, the Group Managing Director. Alhaji Adewale Shonai, Mr. Oye Ogundele, the Mr. Femi Adekoya, the non-executive director of the company. Director of the company who is attending online. I'm also pleased to introduce Ms. Edu as the company secretary. The annual reports and accounts contains the respective profiles. So you have that. Now, in line with the approval received from the Corporate Affairs Committee, that the following directors and representatives of the members of the Audit Committee present at this AGM. Ms. Iruna Ijibe, my good self. Mr. Ogundeji and Mr. Lawrence Jidua. I would also like to introduce and assisting the company in discharging its duties effectively. Auditor, OSA professionals, represented by Mr. Baba Bode Oshunkoya. Mercy Onyejua. the Nigerian the Securities and Exchange Commission, represented by attending online. The Corporate Affairs Commission has informed us that may I inform all shareholders physically present that roving microphones and amplifying one of the ushers will hand you a microphone. I'll request, therefore, that you speak clearly into the microphone. I'll call on the company secretary to read the notice of the meeting as indicated on page 6 of the annual report.
The Companies and Allied Matters Act, the Public Company notice convening the 16th Annual General Meeting. Notice is hereby the 16th Annual General Meeting PLC will hold at the Legation Hall, 38 Commercial Avenue, South 21 at 11 a.m. to transact the following businesses. Financial statements for the year ended 31st December 2020 together. 2, to declare a dividend. 3, to elect/re-elect directors, external auditors. 5, to elect members of the Statutory Audit Committee. And 6, to disclose to consider and, if thought fit, to pass the following as ordinary resolution. 31st December 2021 be fixed at 10,300,000 naira only. Secretary, I crave the indulgence of the shareholders to take the notes as read. Thank you very much.
The chairman's statement is already distributed to members and could be found on page 21 of the annual report. To save time, comments on the statement will be taken during the question and answer session immediately after the laying of accounts, and I hope that's all right by everyone. The first item on the agenda today is to lay before members the financial statements of the company for the year ended 31st with the report of the independent auditors and the audit committee thereon. And I'll call on
I have your permission to save time to read the statement of opinion basis independent auditors report to the shareholders of Codville. We have audited the consolidated financial statements of Codville Business Solutions PLC, the group. Position as of 31st December 2020, and the statement of profit or loss and other comprehensive income and the statement of cash flows for the year then ended, and notes to the financial statements, including significant statements present fairly, In all material respects, the financial position of Cordville Business Solutions PLC first December close for the year then ended in accordance with international Securities and Exchange Commission rules and regulations and the Financial Reporting Council audit in accordance with international standards on auditing. Our responsibilities under those standards section of our report. We are independent of the group in accordance with the international ethics standards and other independence requirements applicable to performing audits of financial statements in Nigeria. SBA code and in accordance with ethical requirements applicable to performing audits in Nigeria. To provide a basis for our opinion. Key audit matters. Key audit matters are of the consolidated financial statements of the current period. These matters were addressed in the context of our audit of the consolidated financial separate opinion on these matters. Key audit matter, revenue. Presents the consideration receivable from various state governments, where auto-reg business solutions and based on complex and subjective judgments, informed by individual contract agreements with the states. Consequently, correctly recorded, and thus revenue recognized in the financial statements may be incorrectly measured. We determine this matter with the estimates that management must make to record these amounts. Subsequent recognition of investment property is a key audit matter due to the size of the transaction. The valuation is performed in accordance with IAS 40, which is based on the valuation process. How these matters were addressed in the audit. Understood the policy as well as compliance therewith, including an analysis of the effectiveness of controls related to revenue recognition. These procedures were carried out paying attention to accounting entries recorded in revenue and receivables. Obtained samples and agreed the same to invoices issued out during the year to ascertain the integrity of IT control for occupancy. Management employed the services of an independent valuer to determine the fair value. Independence and expertise of the valuer assessed the appropriateness of the property, amongst others, rental value, vacancy rates, vacancy value, of the investment set on note 3 of the financial statements. Conclusion. That's report by the Companies and Allied Matters Act, that in carrying out our audit, we consider and report to you on the following matters, which to the best of our knowledge and belief were necessary for the purposes of our audit. 2, in our and 3, the company's statement of financial position and statement of profit or loss and other comprehensive
sir. Call on Mr. Femi Adekoya, the chairman of the Statutory Audit Committee, to present the report.
The report of the Audit Committee at the meeting. To the members of the court, 4 of Section 4 of the Companies and Allied Matters Act 2020. The members of the Committee of Country Business Solutions in conformity with the provision of Section 404 of Section 7 of the Companies and Allied Matters Act 2020. Responsibilities. The scope and planning of both the external and internal audit for 2020 financial year and agreed ethical practices. The external auditors have also confirmed that necessary audit functions, and we are also satisfied with the external auditors' management responses. The members of the committee include myself, Femi Adekoya, Mr. Lawrence, I will want to take the audit committee meetings that
Thank you very much, Mr. Adekoya. Ladies, 31st December 2020 before you. We shall now entertain questions on the chairman's statement and the 2020 audited financial statement. And we implore, please, that in the questions, if we can just be careful about timing. Thank you very much. Okay, would like to know your name and introduce yourself.
Yeah, this working. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, cover the protocol. My name is Peter Enyanuku. Thank the MD very much, because the first meeting we hold after this in Nigerian Stock Exchange, we hold the meeting at Ikoyi area. That's our first meeting. That day, I just surprised that this company, this shareholder just buy it as it looked to be, because shareholders used to risk their money. But thank God for today, making a lot of progress. We thank the management board and all the staff of this company doing well. This account is historical, but dirty things to be correct. Having said that, going to the account, that's looking at the assets. I'll start from the financial assets. I think it's dropped down to it's dropped down a little bit, but I can see that something happened in Liberia, but the MD can explain better. Company, especially the borrowing. The borrowing is clear. We didn't have anybody holding any money. Best thing to look into the account first. Going to the page 64. Dispose of the assets. We didn't know what we dispose, giving us this amount. Last page 92. Page 92 is the starting with entertainment. There's a lot of entertainment too. In eyesight too. The second one, but everybody know, but I want a good explanation from the end. I would like to a little explanation. The gift needs more explanation on that. The medical expensive go double the last year expensive. So I'd like to know more about this expensive we spent for the last year. I'll stop here so that my other colleagues can take some questions. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, sir. Okay, we have. Okay, so do we agree to take just two more people, the current speaker and obviously like a female, because if we've had two men, we're going to have a female, to.
Okay, so good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, the chairman of this occasion. First of all, I'm a shareholder of this company. First and foremost, I want to appreciate the board, management, and staff of this great company for the declaration of a three-quarter dividend under the year that we are reviewing. I think this is commendable, and I want you also to keep it up. Yes, now, so before I proceed, concerning your report, you are quoting, we have come out 2020. You are still making reference to what I read out is illegal. So you have to watch that next time. Then I will just go straight to page talk about the sustainability report of our company. I want to appreciate what we have done to the environment, to the health, and then concerning the donation that we made, though it's also the donation we made under is commendable, but I mean, donation we made, I think we paid 85,000 naira to Nigerian police. I don't know what that money is meant for, but I think when you consider what happened during
Yeah, I think he needs a better microphone because there's a lot of echo on his microphone.
I'll make reference to the CF. I say it's commendable, but probably the donation can still be improved upon, because when you compare it with the current challenge that we face, I think that amount can still be improved upon. Then page 19. Further, because that really engaging with our customer, we said number of phone call, number of email. I think we also need to have this complaint email where we need to know complaint the analytics, but that will give us an idea of how this company is solving issue with their customers. to even page. Your website, I want to appreciate the simplicity, and the ease of using concerning your annual report. When I was trying to download it, it took me a little bit of time. Probably next time, that's situation reports from that unit. Have they come out with any, new products? Because a one-man company, you need to do other things to bring to any new product, or if they are increased, improve existing ones. Then page. Company secretary, and also appreciate the level of attendance that are called here. But I want to beg the company secretary if detects, okay, if and we can't really do any proper assessment, if probably next time then sorry, page 98 concerning revenue dropped in 2020, but the cost of sales for that MVA high in cost of sales when there was a revenue drop when you compare with 2019.
Question. So I think we have one.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. Distinguished shareholders, all regulatory authorities present, and even to the I'm a shareholder, and at this meeting, I also represent Dr. is the National Coordinator of Independent Shareholders Association of Nigeria. We normally do, but if you have not gotten it, I will send one to you by the time we encourage you to send us a reply to our queries, our questions, and our I will start from where he picked when he was the last speaker. What he was making his presentation. He talked about the number of staff, the personnel cost, and we also redundancy cost of 28.17 million. And we now want moved from 120 to 125 when we have even increased just to mention few of said on page 105, profit after tax. We said it is profit from this. Please. Then when you go further down, the first note there, the first footnote says, since this is the first year of consideration, there are no consolidation figures for the financial summary. What are we referring to? We know that we are trying to say for 2016 and 2017, we were yet to have a group structure. We were just reporting as a company. That is what we feel. What to explain was, if that is the true picture, if that is what you are trying to communicate to the whole world by this your footnote here. So that's very important. Now, they have talked extensively, the last two speakers talked extensively on our performance, our operational performance. We knew what products can we roll out at this period. We are informed of that because that is the order of the day now. We sit down, brainstorm. What products can we further bring out to enhance our revenue, and it will further enhance our profitability. Our revenue dropped significantly by 15%. That is on the high side. The structure, the cost structure needs to be reviewed and looked at critically. Then on our financial highlights, we have some important information that should be on this page. It is an added advantage to us when we present such information on this page, because people that are missing here, that is very important. Earnings per share is not on this page. It's supposed to be reports. Then when we have our directors' profiles, there is a very important information that's supposed to be on our directors' profiles. That is the date that they joined the board. It is not there. While we were looking at what was written for them, and it shouldn't be so. So please, let's also look at that. Then, liabilities. We saw a significant increase in other liabilities. That is on pages 63 and 90. I will want us to look at the breakdown of other liabilities on page 90. From 335 million to 507 million. Now, when we look at the components of other liabilities, yes, 90. Under payables and other current liabilities. It is notable 17, accounts payables and other current liabilities. Thank you. Now, when you look at it, we have directors' current accounts moved from 47.68 million to 226. We have accrued audit fees from 4.5 to 9 million. Then we also have added tax payable. It moved from a plus to 14.87. When we look at some of these things, some of these lines here, like pay as you earn and all that, we know that they have statutory deadline. There is a kind of time that we are supposed to remit. So we will need explanation on this too. in the general administrative expenses, the breakdown, we saw that we paid fines and penalties. And apart from the fact that we paid it in year 2020, we also paid it in 2029. And the basis is on page 92. Page 92. The amount to us as shareholders is not important. The message that we passing to the corporate world, we should improve on our corporate image to the all regulatory deadlines is very important. I know that there are some that they give us opportunity that if we ensuring that we don't meet up with the deadline and then we are paying penalties and fines.
Madam, you have just space for just one more person. Okay? So
Okay,
I think, no, ma, please, if you don't mind. Let's just please give somebody else another opportunity, please.
Yeah,
Thank
I
you.
understand. That's why I said let me to us. And we thank God that we are all alive today. And we thank God that our company is a Thank you very much for this.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Please, I think we'll just take one more shareholder. Is that okay? Yeah?
But my point is just on pages 108 to 128, which is on. Sorry, I'm Adeshino Tajudin, a shareholder.
Thank you.
For shareholder to assess and claim and for future, let's ignore quoting of the figure outstanding. Pages 108 to 128, unclaimed dividend. The name should be arranged alphabetically for future purpose. And also, some figures were quoted outstanding. We shouldn't quote it for future purpose. It poses a threat to the company. That's my point.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Good morning, everyone. Once again, welcome to the this AGM. I'll start with the comments. Yanugu, sorry, pardon me. Reduction in other assets. Okay, so if you look at balances. Okay? I'll tell you what it is. We have exited Liberia for business reasons. All of poor provisioning and planning for that decision. For the borrowing, even as we speak, up to this point, our borrowings are still so, and we want to maintain that for a long time. Thank you. Profit on disposal of full cars. At the time we took that decision to carry out that redundancy, dollars that we have to first convert to the US dollars before we convert to the Naira value. In that space, usually that happens. It's not from our operating activities. Gifts. Well, you said you did not see gifts, but whatever we did for last year, the AGM last year, and a few other things that we have to do as part of in the course of part of what this. I don't think the materiality, if I try to check what figure it is, materiality is not something that should be of too much concern. And the medical COVID. 2020 was when we insisted, despite the situation in the country and in the firm and the company as it were, to carry out extensive medical efforts, medical tracing, checks, and all that. We conducted medical checks consistently every other month on all staff on duty, COVID medical test. We brought in, people to come out, doctors to come out and speak to us. That we allow people that were validly allowable to stay on 5 series of testing that we came up with, allowing everybody to come on board. Even after the spike in the numbers. For Mr. Ario, thank you for the camera reference. I'm sure we will adjust that between our auditors and auditors and our finance people on our board next time. Thank you very much for the observation. Our sustainability report is quite robust, and if you must know, I don't know if it was last year or 2 years ago, Codville was the first company to have that sustainability review and report delivered to the stock exchange online. We were the first to do it, and that is something we want to continue. Is about our environment. We will take note of the analytics suggestions on the resolution of issues as we presented them. The annual report download will be improved upon. We will kind of compress it to the extent that you'll be able to easily download it. We've noted and then adjust appropriately. We believe that not the printer's devil, or some devil somewhere. Thank you very much for noticing that. And in terms of the number of staff, as in workforce, 120. Again, remember that we are consolidating the numbers in Jamaica along with ourselves. At the same time, when we let go of the during the redundancy exercise, we let go of a number of professional staff and only a few of the contract staff. Some of them had to come in as contract mostly because our operations in terms of auto-reg expanded in the head office. We needed to employ more tellers. We needed to bring in a few more young contract staff, and that is what led to this. Now, let me tie to the question questions that have been raised on personnel costs. That if we did all this, it went down over the period. So that explains what we're able to achieve. Time of that redundancy exercise, we have not recruited any professional, any graduate staff. And it's a lot of pressure already. So when you essential, like when you see it, you'll probably see 1 or 2 or 3 additions to what we have done. Because the pressure is now very huge. Business is coming back, it's getting back to normal. And we don't want our people because want to cope with the pressure of work and cover everything we need to do. I can't remember what it was. Percentages. Okay, in terms of the shareholding, I think, again, new products. Yeah. We always are about the next thing. What is the next step? What is the next thing? A lot. To be kind to us on auto-reg and all the other ones. But we are improving our activities in the area of other services like NAPAMs, like NIDS and NIAP. But what I must say now is that we actually have very useful ones to go beyond deepening our activities in these established areas into actually investing in subsidiaries that will allow us to do some of the fintech industry. And we are getting into what you call the payment systems, proper fintech payment system, space to be able to allow us not only take advantage of what's going on out there, but to be able to we all have to use these fintech services. And we now know that lockdown or not, services sector is going away with so much value at this time. I cannot tell you this is why, but lockdown actually affected it. We were working mostly from home. There was no for at least half of the year, and then Mr. Adio is going to let me finish. Mr. Peter. Most of our directors, of course, could not come online because they were also facing their COVID, activities. As you can see, the chairman is still based in the UK, and we have not tried to stress him by asking him to come down. But our standard policy is about 3 times a year, 4 times. All right. So we will resume our 4 annual meetings going for 4 annual meetings every year. So how do you say? My apologies. So, Mrs. Dojaye, sorry, you are definitely not Mr. You are Mrs. I can see that. My apologies. But comments and questions. I've addressed personnel costs and the footnote. 5-year, what do you call it, report. And that not only covered 1 or 2 of the years. So, maybe we would have been a bit more explicit in describing what we are covering. Thank you. Revenue and profit can be improved, of course. But what you see revenue and maybe increasing costs are largely reclassifications mostly to position our financials, our reports better for, tax management and all that. They are mostly rearrangement of numbers, not that, as I can tell you, So it wasn't such a bad whatever. So earnings per share on summary policy. Now we know. Director's profile, they joined the board. Please note. All right? I believe we are all here. The executives are all here from the beginning, but the non-execs have to be the one that. And you know, executive will be here forever, I think, if that's not a problem for anyone. Other liabilities on page 63. Have I talked about that already? Let me try and remember what it was all about. On page 963, note 17. Okay. Okay, you talked about director's current account. These are just related party transactions for investment in technology applications. Yes, that's one of the new business that we say we are getting into, and it was done through one of the directors' systems. And by now, this will move. It should move straight into investment rather than the director's current account. Okay, and the others that you talked about, audit fees, this is a snapshot of a particular, we hadn't paid about Susa, right? That was outstanding, because I don't understand why. I think the fee is about 9 million, 4.5 million. So maybe I don't know how it doubled. The accrued, we hadn't paid other fees to it. Okay, so this is not just external auditors of this or her. So we have other systems auditors, always certified by the Standard Organization of Nigeria and the ISO, and they come regularly for audit. There's a lot more expensive once in a year. That's not to say we are going to increase their audit fee every year. They only come once in a year. These guys added tax payable. What I can assure you is that our tax situation at this time is probably the best it has ever been. We are not behind as we speak, as we stand, on any of this as such. And we continue to try and make sure that we continue to remain good to the government. So I give you assurances that we are good on VAT. I believe that's what we converted Jamaican dollars to US dollars to Naira to. So 50,000 Naira is not from Nigerian operations. It was from the Jamaican operations, and it's a one-off. I believe I've covered everything from Mrs. Udojaye. Unclaimed dividend, thank you very much, sir. About the unclaimed dividend, we will take out the unnecessary information. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Jimmy. Thank you. So, ladies and gentlemen, the financial statement for the year ended 31st December 2020 before you. Oh no, sorry about that. I hereby move the group audited accounts as at 31st December 2020 and the reports of the directors, auditors, for the members of the company, and that the directors be discharged of their responsibilities to the company in respect of the audited accounts. Will someone please rise to second this motion?
I rise. My name is Peter Eyan.
Thank you. I'll now put the resolution to the meeting. You have 30 seconds to vote. Please vote now. Registrars, please announce the result of the voting when you're done. 106 and 10 shareholders, bringing it to a total of 117 shareholders. 84,076,599 units. Thank you. Okay, thank you very much. Following the results announced by the registrar of the company, I declare the resolution carried. Now, the second item on the agenda is the declaration of dividend. Be it resolved that a dividend of 0.03 kobo, that's 3 kobo really, profit after tax for the 12-month ended 31st December 2020 be and is hereby declared payable on the pro rata basis to the shareholders whose names appear in the register of members at the close of business on Thursday, 6th day of May 2021. I hereby authorize to give effect to this resolution. Now, would another shareholder please second the motion?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. My name is Olugbosun Ariel. I rise to second that motion.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I will now put the resolution to the meeting. Again, you have 30 seconds. Please vote now. Please indicate. Thank you. For this resolution, we have 106 proxy, 12 shareholders, bringing it to a total of 118, and the shareholding of 2,184,076,599 units. Thank you. So following the results that's just been announced by the registrar of the company, I hereby declare the resolution carried. Now, the third item on the agenda is the re-election of directors who is retiring by rotation. Pursuant to Section 285(1) of the Companies and Allied Matters Act 2020 and Article 32 of the Company's Articles of Association, my good self, Ms. Ejibe, being the longest serving non-executive director on the board, is due to retire by rotation, and so I offered myself for re-election. I now vacate the seat as chairman of this meeting to enable the GMD conduct this business as stated in the agenda of the meeting. GMD.
May I ask a shareholder to move that Ms. Iruna Ejibe, who retires by rotation in accordance with Article 34, subsection 2 of the CAMA 285, subsection 1, and who being eligible has offered herself for re-election, be and hereby re-elected as a director of the company.
I so move. My name is Mrs. Temilade Durojaye.
Thank you. I will now put the resolution to the meeting. You have 30 seconds to vote. Please vote now. Sorry, pardon me. I'm not chairman experience. Will another shareholder please second the motion?
Hi, Peter Odusoya, rise to second the motion.
Thank you. I will now put the resolution to the meeting. You have 30 seconds to vote. Please vote now. Registrars, Please announce the result of the voting.
The result of the voting is 106 proxies, 11 shareholders, bringing it to a total of 2,378,000,000 and 25,318.
Thank you. Following the result announced by the registrar of the company, I hereby declare the resolution to re-elect Ms. Ejibe as the director of the company unanimously carried.
Thank you, Dr. Atkindele, and thank you, dear shareholders, for the re-election. Now, the fourth item on the agenda is to authorize the directors to fix the remuneration of the auditors. The firm of ABAX OSA Professionals, having served as the company's auditors for 2020 financial year, would continue in office as the company's auditors. So I hereby move the following motion: that the directors be and are hereby authorized to determine the remuneration of auditors who have indicated their willingness to continue in the office as the auditors of the company for the 2021 financial year. Would another shareholder please rise to second the motion?
Supported. Kolawole Ganiamo.
Thank you very much, sir. I'll now put the resolution to the meeting, and there's 30 seconds to vote.
The result is proxies 106, shareholders 12, bringing it to a total of 118, and the shares 2,378,000,000 and 25,318 units. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So, following the result announced by the registrar of the company, I hereby declare the resolution that the directors be and authorized to determine the remuneration of the auditor, ABAX OSA Professionals, who have indicated their willingness to continue in the office as the auditors of the company, carried. Our next item on the agenda is election of the members of the Statutory Audit Committee. With Companies and Allied Matters Act 2020, every public company must establish an audit committee. In accordance with Section 404, subsection 3 of the Companies and Allied Matters Act 2020, the audit committee shall consist of 5 members, comprising 3 members and 2 non-executive directors. The directors have nominated the following directors as their representatives on the audit committee: Mr. Femi Adekoya and Ms. Irina Ejibe. 3 valid nominations were also received from the shareholders during the statutory period required for nomination of members of the audit committee. The nominees are Mr. Ayodele Ogundeji, Mr. Lawrence Jidua, and Mrs. Temilade Durojaye. For the sake of clarity and avoidance of doubt, please note that there will be no right to demand a poll on the election of members of the audit committee in compliance with the provision of 249 subsection 3 of Companies and Allied Matters Act 2020. In view of the fact that there are 3 valid nominations to fill the existing vacancies opened to the representatives of the shareholders on the Statutory Audit committee, there shall be no need for election. And so I hereby move the motion that the appointment of Mr. Ayodele Ogundeji, Mr. Lawrence Jidua, and Mrs. Temilade Jurojaye as the representatives of the shareholders on the statutory audit committee of the company for year 2021 financial year be approved. Could another shareholder please rise and second this motion?
My name is Peter Ayanuku. I so do. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. I hereby declare the motion carried. So, distinguished shareholders, I hereby present the members of the Audit Committee for 2021 financial year as follows. Please, nominees, you would stand up for recognition. Mr. Ayodele Ogundeji, Mr. Lawrence Jidua, Mrs. Temilade Jurojaye, Mr. Femi Adekoya, and myself. Thank you. The last item on our agenda today is the disclosure of the remuneration of managers of the company. Section 238 of CAMA 2020 provided that the disclosure of the remuneration of managers of the company be done at this meeting. Save for other unforeseen circumstances, the remuneration of the non-executive directors of the company for the year ending 31st December 2021 is hereby fixed at the sum of 10,300,000 naira only. Ladies and gentlemen, there being no other business, we have come to the end of the agenda for today. On behalf of the Board of Directors, I thank everyone who's come out here today to attend. And at this time, I declare the meeting closed. Shareholders and board, please, we've been called to order on a need for special business, okay? To consider and it thought fit to pass the following as ordinary resolution, that the remuneration of directors of the company for the ending 31st December 2021 be fixed at 10,300,000 naira only, right? And so we will have to okay. No, but so disruption. I hereby move the motion that the remuneration of directors of the company for the year ending 31st December be fixed at 10,300,000 naira only. Now, could another shareholder please rise and second the motion?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Maria is named. I rise to second that motion.
Thank you so much. And so, having done that, then we'll put the resolution to vote. And our registrars, please.
For the results, we have 106 proxy, 10 shareholders, bringing it to 116, with a total of 2,378,000,000 and 25,318 units. Thank you.
Okay, so thank you very much, Registrar. We declare this carried. Hopefully there's no other business after this. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the end of the agenda for today. And again, on behalf of the directors here, I thank everyone for coming out. And while declaring the meeting closed, I wish all of us a safe trip back to our various places. Thank you so very much. Can we have a national anthem? Are you ready for us, or we'll sing again? All right. Please rise for the national anthem. And I'll lead the singing. Ready? Arise, O compatriots, Nigeria's call obey, to serve our fatherland with love and strength and faith. The labor of our heroes past shall never to serve with heart and mind, one nation bound in freedom, peace and unity. Thank you very much.